here at New York Comic Con. We're talking to the guys from the Ghost Brothers show on Discovery Plus. I got to ask you first, were you worried at all when that Discovery merger was going on? Because everybody, no matter what property, Warner Brothers, HBO, everybody, even Discovery properties, the Magnolia people were worried. Like, this one guy's coming in, he's like, we don't know what's happening here. Wait, you're shutting down HBO Max? Oh, wait, you're remodeling HBO Max. Wait, what? You can't promote any Warner Brothers? What is going on here?
Right.
Nobody knows. So your show, it's like, are you worried about your property? Like, wait, what's going to happen to us?
Let me say something. When you're the only black show
you're taking
on a network, you got a little bit of value about yourself.
We got the EOE here.
Listen,
Affirmative action. Thank you.
Thank you, diversity. I think we had already shot our episode by the time the merger happened, right?
It doesn't matter. They shut down a $90 million movie.
They shut a whole
It's
movie
like,
down.
we're going to destroy it rather than let the world see it so we can just recoup some kind of tax loss for it.
E.T. Atari game that they just buried in the desert. It's done.
It didn't even live, man. So, I mean, we're fortunate, though. I mean, a lot of people did lose their jobs or had to, refigure some things out, but we're blessed to just be here, and hopefully, we can make sure that, we are a property and a brand that actually makes, good sense to continue to be around, in every space, not just in the paranormal, but whatever place you put the bros in, we're going to make that joint pop.
So let's get the plug out right away and then get into what the show's all about here. Coming out, it's out now as you're hearing this broadcast, Discovery Plus, and there seems to be the newest trend. It used to be the entire season came out at once. Then people started to wise up and like, you know what, we'll release 1 or 2 episodes and then do it weekly. And this year, or at least for the fall, it's dropping 3 episodes at a time right out the gate, and then every other week. So what do you think they one-upped it?
They took it from the dope game. So you got to give them a sample first, right? You get them hooked. You get them hooked on it, Marcus. Get them strung out.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hot
winters
and cold summers.
Oh, with the shivers.
You got them.
And then you give it to them a little bit after.
That's it. And I think
That's real.
And for all those that didn't have Discovery Plus, what we do, we drop it on Travel Channel after that. So we're going to keep it coming all, fall, winter long?
Yeah, and then we're going to get around Christmas time when everybody's home, and late night, instead of watching, the all-night marathon of Guy Fieri's Diners and Drive-Ins and Dives, it's like, well, the Ghost Brothers are on all weekend. I might as well just sit here and watch this.
And eating our holiday pancakes.
Yeah.
You're living a hard living, watching the Ghost Brothers and chilling.
Well, it's nice, too, because you can cross over with the Travel Channel. You can be like, here, now you can go stay in these haunted places. So this is where you got to go if you want to have a real good haunted experience.
Travel Channel,
Haunted travel.
So how do you guys get into this kind of line of work? Like, how do you stumble into just doing paranormal investigation stuff?
Man, to be honest, man, it literally started from us not seeing any representation of ourselves on any of these shows. Back in the day, it was nothing but white guys hunting ghosts. And they might bring a white woman every once and again. But that leaves a whole other spectrum of people, man, that aren't included and stories aren't being told. And we were blessed enough to be ushered in during a time where inclusion really, really mattered. And, we're just grateful for the opportunity to be able to tell our stories and the stories of others, stories that may have been overlooked in the past.
I like how you guys, from the stuff I saw, they gave us an advance on it, how you guys are changing the narrative as far as what you're doing, and you were saying representation, where, forever in the movies, it was always portrayed as, whenever there was some sort of horror movie, the black guy had an over-the-top scary reaction. It was almost like the red shirt in Star Trek. They were the first to go, Right. And now you're coming in here, and you're not showing that at all. You're like, there's some shit going on here. Like, you're taking it seriously and showing, like, this is stuff that we're really not going to fuck with. Like the one in Ohio. You're just like, this is a known place, and you're walking into it. It's not breaking new ground, but because the story's known, but you're going in there from a different perspective, and you're like, this is great. This isn't what I thought the show was going to be. This is fantastic.
Literally changing the narrative, as you just said. It's the narrative as if the black dude would be dying first. We all know if there's a haunted location in a horror movie, the brother's going to make sure he survives. Every time. We already know. He got something strapped up, ready to go. Somebody got to be on the Somebody got to. Hey, man, they killed all my friends, y'all. man, I didn't even know Jessica was gonna die. You know what I'm saying? But this is how we like to bring that energy. We like to bring that appeal. You know, we're pop culture. You know what I'm saying? So we have these references that everybody knows when you go watch it. And then we just kind of keep it funky, keep it real. You know, we let people know exactly what we're doing is like not staged. We don't do any stage stuff. We keep it all the way like authentic, and we make sure that, you know, we represent correctly.
What you just said there about being staged, because there's been other shows that people have documented of like they're throwing if they're in somewhere like a cavern or whatever, they're just throwing like a wrench or something off to the side to make a noise, and then they react to all that stuff. Was there a lot of pressure to come off authentic where people were like, I don't know, really, I'm not really. It's hard enough to get people to believe in paranormal and ghosts to begin with, but any of these shows, people usually aren't taking them seriously. They're like, they're doing something off to the sides, or they're just saying, oh my God, I heard something, they go running, and you're supposed to feel like a paranormal activity kind of vibe with it.
I mean, I think that like for us, we've always been about our integrity. About one, how we were going to be portrayed, being the first blacks to be in the space, and then also how we're going to be portrayed by the paranormal community once we were accepted. And I think that we always wanted to limit our contamination, whether it be amount of people on set while we're actually investigating, or that be trying to like you said, like try to fake some evidence, if you will. We were always really like firm in our stance when that happened, because we know how honestly like judgmental, or you know, how strict some of the viewers can be about that type of stuff, and we're not trying to get canceled. So
and at the end of the day, man, so there's people that like paranormal investigate all day long, weekends, like that's their hobby, that they do it all the free time that they have. And big ups to those people. We need people like that further in the community. But we didn't have a background in any of this stuff when we started. Like nothing. We were literally the guys, just like everybody else, sitting at home on the couch.
You don't really go to college for this.
But we had never even.
There's barter.
They have a 2-semester course.
It's a program, actually. You just get a certificate. It's
you
not
get
like
your associates.
Yeah.
Where at?
There's 2 campuses.
I'm thinking.
You got to catch the commercials. It's a telephone number. And
it's a campus on the south side.
Yeah.
And on the north side.
That one on MLK, crazy.
It's crazy. But nah, man, but we, like I said, we were just guys at home wondering if this stuff was real. And when we got the opportunity, that's the first thing that we said. Like, we want people to be able to believe that our opinion and what we're finding is the truth. You are people just like we were at home 6 months ago. So you can trust and believe. If it ain't, we gonna tell you it ain't. If it is, you gonna know it is. And trust me, it is.
So where was your favorite place so far to film? Because, you know, like being in America, you know, we have a lot of ghosts and demons in this country's history, and I feel like every different part of the country has different ghosts and different things. Like Northeast has like witches, and the South has just the horrors of the plantations, and the West has, you know, like ghost towns and stuff like that. And like the Indian Spirit, like what have you found like investigating these different areas? Is there a commonality between them? Or do you notice anything different in the communities?
I found that literally respect takes you the furthest, no matter what community that you go to. And we found that when we go to the Native American lands in the West, or to the slave plantations in the South, like you said, the witch trials of the Northeast, we always come with a perspective of trying to understand their stories, or what happened to them, or why they did what they did, and respecting everyone just the same. And as long as you do that, I think that's why we've been so blessed enough to not have to fake evidence. Because literally stuff happens everywhere we go, and like we have 3 different personalities, and with humor takes you a long way. We tell everybody living or dead, you had a sense of humor, man. Everybody loved a great joke, and we come with them.
Well, yeah, because I'm the paranormal stuff, I'm like, sometimes I believe it, sometimes I don't, but sometimes you go to a place and you're like, I got vibes here. Like, I don't want to be here. Like, I went to Eastern State Penitentiary in Philly, and like, there was a guided tour, and I was scared. I was like, I don't feel safe on this tour. Like, I could feel like a presence, like this sense, and like, I don't know what that is. Is that the paranormal? Is that just me feeling weird?
That's because your tour guide was a 50-year-old white woman who is 4'5" named Gladys. She's not gonna be able to fight nobody. You know what I'm saying? Ghost big or small. You know, but it's you feel the vibe. It's, you know, that energy doesn't go anywhere. You know, if we're going to go scientific, the energy doesn't go anywhere. If we're going to go spiritual, everybody in the world who has a spiritual background knows about the life and death. You know what I'm saying? The afterlife. Everybody has their own iteration of how you even get to become, you know, to the other side. So I just like that we're interested enough to try to figure out what's going on, and then in turn, when we do find some stuff, it's like, shit, this is crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, this stuff is amazing. So it's just sparked our interest, our curiosity, and it makes you more curious about everything else in life too.
What places are you really curious to go to, and which places are you saying, hell no, I'm never going back there?
Well, the hell no, we won't go is the House of Wheels in Cleveland, Ohio.
And I really I have no desire to go back to Bobby Mackey's unless it's for a performance.
Yeah, from Bobby Mackey.
From Bobby Mackey himself. He has amazing stage presence.
That's one of the episodes in this season here. The legendary Bobby Mackey's nightclub is, according to them, off limits. You don't want. It's not a place you want to go back to.
Look, we ain't trying to slow down Bobby's business.
No.
Bobby made this very specific. If y'all slow my business down, I will come back and hunt y'all, and I don't want that from Bobby.
I don't want that beef with Bobby.
We got a really good season, and places that I would love to go. We talked about going to the White House before. Yeah. You know, we love to go to Alcatraz. Alcatraz. We love to go to any.
You can't just run and climb the fence. That approach doesn't work.
You know what?
Once we saw that red dot, it was like,
When I saw January 6th, I was like, maybe we can make it to do that. We can actually do it. We can do it. Let's investigate.
We'd really love to go international. And just kind of explore those other cultures. I mean, Mexico City, you got in Asia. Yeah, they got a haunted island in Italy.
Look, I'm not really. I'm fascinated with it, but I've never really had that experience until like one place. I used to go down to the Caribbean a lot, and there's a lot of bars that were set up to kidnap people with the trap. You know, like you get them hammered, and then they hit the switch. Put them on a boat. They have trap doors under the bar stool where you drop them into a net, and then next thing you know, you wake up, you're on a boat, and now you're. It's something like that. They've got you, enslaved to work on the ships and stuff.
Hey man, I had a shaky pass.
Going down there, like down into the Haiti area where Port Royal used to be, all those places like that. Some of that pirate stuff is pretty big. If you went down the Caribbean and felt that out, Bermuda Triangle
even
stuff.
Savannah, Georgia, like they had ports where the same things were happening. Like they would literally
even on the Northwest too, over in Seattle, in Oregon and Washington State, they used to have the bars there too, where people get drunk and next thing you know, you're now working on a ship.
They need to bring those back.
Traffic. It's called traffic.
Oh no, they don't need to bring those back. My bad.
You're gonna be at Buffalo Wild Wings, and then all of a sudden, poof, you eating your little 6-piece.
You gonna wake up in the back of a Bronco with the Ghost Brothers driving.
No, do not. No,
the Ghost Brothers driving.
You just want to bring back trap doors. Essentially, you want Double Dare to come back.
I want Double Dare, and I want to be slimed. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is.
You want to go through the giant mouth, down the esophagus, into the green, grab the flag, and get your BMX bike. Yeah.
With my asthma pump.
I got slimed as a kid on Nickelodeon.
Oh, wow.
Was
it everything you thought it would be?
It was everything I thought it would be. I got a certificate that says I was slimed. I have it at home.
Is it framed?
Yeah, it is framed.
Listen, that is
can't find his college degree, but he's got I got
screw that.
It's got me way more jobs than my college degree.
You know what? I did go to barter, but I did get slimed.
I went to slime you. I mean, slime me. Like.
I also wanted to bring this up, too, because we just mentioned Bobby Mackey's nightclub, but you also have an episode, as we said earlier, at the Ohio State Reformatory in Mansfield, Ohio. Mm-hmm. I've said this for years, that Ohio is really fucked up because the people are always crazy. I've had ex-girlfriends from Ohio that are just nuts because they're from Ohio, but then you're finding all this weird shit in that one state. And I don't know what it is about Ohio, but a lot of these haunting stuff, serial killer stuff, those girls a while back that were trapped in that guy's house, it was in Cleveland, Ohio. Like, all this weird, crazy shit is happening. What's going on in Ohio?
It's in the breast milk.
You think so?
Yeah. So
in the titty of America.
It's got to be something they're consuming.
And the polluted lake water that was set on fire. Yeah.
Ghost titty milk. Nah, man, Ohio and Kentucky, man, those are seriously the two most haunted states, I believe, in the United States.
The Chitlin Circuit of Paranormal. Ohio and Kentucky. And what's the other one?
Missouri.
Yeah, Michigan and Missouri.
Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Do you find some of these places you go to, or some places that you can't go to because they've been like the tourism has taken over, like the Winchester Mansion out in California, had an amazing story where the lady, if you don't know, she the widow of the guy who invented the Winchester rifle, went crazy by the spirits of the people that rifle had killed, and she had a vast fortune, so she was building stairs that went nowhere, cupboards that wouldn't open, doors that were too small, all this weird shit. But it became such a big tourist thing that are you afraid to go to the places like this because you feel like anything that was there is gone because it's so over tourism?
No, we did the Winchester Mystery House, and honestly, that was a really good location. We got lost, to say the least.
It happens.
It had a lot of activity.
But yeah, what you got to realize, with so many people coming into these places, you don't know people's intentions. So people bring dark stuff to a place that's already haunted and already dealt with spirits. The Roth house that we went to and we did a season in, man, the current owner allows people to come in and rent the house out overnight and stay overnight and all this stuff. But he even said himself, he's come down and caught people in the basement lighting candles, drawing demonic symbols. So you allow all these different people with different intentions come through these spaces all day, every day. You don't know what's getting dropped off in there.
You don't know what's getting dropped off in your basement.
Well, that's kind of interesting because that was like a plot point in Nope. The people who go to the ranch and they want to see the secret stuff of like the people who were killed like on the set of the TV show, and he has like the secret room. He shows them. It's like that extreme like tourism, like the people who want to be there. They want to be like, I want to be in the cell. I want to like have sex in Jeffrey Dahmer's bed or some crazy shit. That kind of stuff.
Yeah. And those tickets are expensive. I looked into that.
Dahmer bed?
I was like, wow, 10,000? Okay.
Just for like a corner?
How much was the deposit?
Right.
That's all you could eat.
Right.
You also did the Perrin farmhouse, which was the Conjuring, was based on that. What is it like going there, knowing what they're portraying in the movies and knowing what it actually is?
No, we went there with Andrea.
With a family member.
Oh, wow.
From the parent family, and I feel like I think her and that house have a really weird connection that like we picked up on when we were there.
She walks up to it, she's like, "Hello, I'm back." And the house was like, welcome.
It was like,
shit, y'all know each other?
I felt like the house was alive when she walked in.
Yeah, if someone's greeting the house, I'm saying goodbye.
Right?
Like, that's it.
Like, she had a full conversation with it. Like, you could tell, like, there's some extreme history there. Yeah. But it's dope, man, because you've seen the movies.
Yeah.
But to be in the actual space with an actual relative that happened there, I don't know, it felt like an extreme behind the scenes.
Yes, you're in there like, oh, if these walls can talk, she's like, but they do.
Where we grew up on Long Island, we had two places that were infamously known, but because it's Long Island and it's fucked up, they ruined everything, that any kind of mystique to it. One was that asylum in Central Islip, which they built a public golf course around it. So you're playing around the asylum, but it kind of takes like, it's not really that spooky because you're playing on the back nine, and it's like, well, people died there and weird torturing happened there, but it doesn't really have that mystique like some other asylums do. And then the other one was the Amityville Horror House, which wasn't far from us, but they've changed that house 3 or 4 different times. It doesn't look anything like it used to be. People still go and take a photo and they swear they feel. It's like that thing has been so repurposed for so many years. Like the lore of it is long gone. Like I can't imagine. That's what I was talking about, the tourism stuff. When stuff like that is constantly being refurbished, rebuilt, it's like you lost what the initial connection was to that place.
I will also say, though, a lot of times that we found is like we've been places where they tore down the house or whatever structure and then built something else on top of it, and there was just as many like hauntings and situations going on. With what I've noticed with this, like the tourism, sometimes those people add energy to the spaces too. You know what I'm saying? Because they come in with such a level of expectation and come in with such a level of like, yo, I'm trying to make sure that I see something, that some could, accidentally see something on their own, but then others are just like, the atmosphere is set for it so that you do have an experience. And so it's just like, I mean, there's some places that are really too cleaned up, but then there's other joints where it's like, nah, this is no matter what they put on. They could put a McDonald's on this mug, and they would literally have.
What
the
about
fries.
a Chick-fil-A?
Now they ain't gonna be open on Sunday, so they could definitely be
Haunted ball
there.
pit built on an Indian burial ground. Like
Yeah.
poltergeist kids go in, the skeletons are coming up through it.
Yeah, that's
They
how
had
it
some
works.
good chicken nuggets. I'd still go. You'd be there. I'd be there.
We're gonna have to let you go in a minute here, but I do want to ask, since you said you've been to all these places and you've felt all different kinds of things, it's sort of cliche how they do it in the shows and the movies and everything, but there's always that feeling that some people get where they can go into a room and they feel the temperature change, like it's really cold here, or they just be standing there and all of a sudden you feel the like it's around you. Have you had that experience,
that's
or is that just
100%
something
true.
they make up?
No,
for
that's
movies?
100% true. Your biggest barometer is your body. 100%.
Because I've seen when it's like the temperatures change, it feels ice cold, or they feel like something's
a
touching you
breath
behind
on
you.
your neck, or you
Yeah.
feel like almost like a gust like passes by you. Like you have all that happen in these locations.
I shouldn't be here.
Or
Yeah,
your head could immediately start hurting. You can become nauseated just out the blue. And as soon as you walk out of a room, you're back to normal again. Like it's all those little signs.
My job is
Goosebumps.
haunted. Then every time I go there, I'm like, ooh.
Hey man, listen.
Or you're
Get out of
anemic.
here.
Or you're anemic.
Yeah, iron may be low.
Guys, we're out of time, unfortunately. Out right now on Discovery Plus. If you don't have it, go sign up right now for Ghost Brothers Lights Out Season 2. The first 3 episodes have dropped, and you can look. They'll show you the rundown too for the rest of the season of all the places that you guys are going to. All crazy stuff. Guys, thank you for taking the time to talk to us. We really appreciate it.
Man, appreciate you guys. Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
One last thing. Favorite horror movie?
Oh, definitely Friday the 13th.
513?
Candyman.
Oh my God. Candyman.
Old or the remake?
Old.
That movie
job.
terrified me as a child.
Oh, 100%.
Tales from the Hood, 100%.
That is a good one, and that's underrated. Not many
It
people
is.
talk about that.
Very
But I gotta say, with the Candyman, even though they rebooted it, the reboot was okay. But that I can't think of the actor's name who played Candyman in the Tony Todd. Anytime you've seen him in something else, it's like it's still Candyman.
It's Candyman.
It doesn't matter.
Even in Final Destination.
And that's not knocking his skill
yeah.
as an actor. He's great, but it was such an
He did
iconic
an amazing
role.
job in Candyman, and you're like,
So good.
That's all I see now.
So yeah, I saw Candyman first time. I was probably like 9 or so, and I was at my cousin's house, and I didn't know that he had just had this house built, and there was a secret. Like we were talking about trapdoors, there was a secret room in his bathroom.
wall.
And he would go in there and do the Candyman thing and then disappear. Scared the shit out of me. Like I was terrified of that bathroom. I would go to the house and be like, "Brian, use the bathroom." I'm like, I'll just go in my pants. Like it's much easier. It's less cleanup. Like
Candyman does it.
Candyman is terrifying as a child. It's great.
Great way to end the interview.
I might do
Pee in
things,
his
Eric.
pants.
In my pants.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.